I'm Pat Brown, been in Brooks since 1966. I came to Brooks working for Schlumberger and the oil patch, and got into production side of things, consulting and doing field work for other companies, and eventually got into developing some production for myself and other investors, local, etc. The railroad developed natural gas in Brooks itself, adjoining the railroad and in the city of Brooks now. The railroad owned the wells, and I think they eventually sold their rights and everything in the area to Canadian Western Natural Gas, who operated the systems till they switched over. Now it's Atco. Okay, this is the drilling part, okay? The eccentric arm that's on that big wheel driving that arm, it's on an eccentric like this, and so it pulls that down. This goes up and down, so it just, you know, and the cable is clamped into this device here, okay? And the cable goes over the top, down through here, and the driller uses that handle to make hole. As the cable gets tighter, he adjusts it and gives it slack, and then it can ease its way down the hole. And so that's the basic tenet of this machine. And this is the engine that drives it, of course. This is a natural gas operated engine in here. And so all the drilling cable would be on these big drums here. And one would have the drilling cable on it, about probably 2,000 feet of cable this size. And this one would have the smaller cable for running the casing. Okay, so it goes over there, the top sheave too, and then you can run your casing in the hole. So that's very simplified operation. So this is the forge house for sharpening the bits. Mostly was for sharpening the drill bits. And here's one of the bits. This is what's going to be doing making the hole down at the bottom, or in the bottom of the cable. So that's a bit, and it's set up here for sharpening. This is a ram that actually could be operated from here, also from the engine, and hammers back and forth. It would hammer back and forth on there. The guys did their finishing with hand tools to make it. This would get the curvature right, and hand tools. This pick would grab your bit, stick it in the fire for heat. Okay, get it hot so that you can move the metal, and then the hammering starts. Either from there with joined up whack, and they be turning with it here, and then the end of it to put the fine tune on it. Hammers, big men with big hammers. Yeah, and so there's, you know, all the other things that you need for the work. Okay, that's a production system. It was owned by Murphy Oil, and those are little rod lines that it was set up so that a big wheel, it would spin around and round, and every different angle would have a cable going out to one of these shallow wells. So that just set up shows how it worked. As that wheel turned, it turned, pulled, and pulled the horse's head down. The rod string came up bringing the fluid, and then the weight of the rod string would drop as this came back around, and it would do it again. So that's a poor boy operation, but it was shallow well, so it did the job. Okay, that's a dehydrator. It's to knock the fluid out of gas production, is what it does. And it's a heater. That's the heater side, so it wouldn't be freezing, and the gas come off the top. Water would drain off the bottom somewhere there. Then that's the conventional pump jack that just brings fluid up. Okay, yeah. Motor turns it, turns the gearbox and the weights. The same thing here, except the different. It's got a remote engine on it, so you can run that anywhere as long as you got fuel to it. And that's just a little transfer pump, moving oil, water, or what probably was for moving oil. Well, that's the boiler, and this one was fired by natural gas. I guess, yeah. This one's could be fired either way. It could be fired by coal, but this boiler ran by natural gas. The technology has advanced, and it keeps advancing, and they still go down. They fracture those wells by pumping fluid in, busting the rock, and then they get the stuff back. And so timing of the technology, it's been continuous, say, in the last 30 years, and it's just to the point now where ho-hum, what are we drilling here today, like bigger equipment to do that job, but as far as drilling rigs and things, but there's still surprises out there.